来了来了来了，好，哎，搞得太辛苦了。我一，哎，我这个 V 六怎么下来还？我以为你把我斗志掉了呢。怎么样？你们
你现在是你现在是每天都要回去上班了吗？
这些都改成9点了吗？现在8点半根本回不来。
太厉害了，你们都太厉害了。
早晨
我今天我今天本来是想去办公室来着，结果那个给我给冻回来了，就算了算了。
这一下又跑回去了。
嗯
好，我
，OK，
你在录，你不要录吧，好像你在录哎，你把它停下来吧。这段儿
哈，All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our CAPA Nova event. 欢迎大家来到我们 CAPA Nova 平台。在介绍今天的 speaker 之前，I want to take 1 minute real quick, introduce CAPA Nova. CAPA Nova stands for Chinese American Parents Association of Northern Virginia. 中文是北北华裔家长协会。我们是一个非营利组织，始建于2021年。在过去的4年的时间里头，我们已经为华府社区提供了上千场。各种各样的公益讲座，其中呢有一条主线是我们的 financial literacy，这个呢是我们今年的第5年那个 continue on this theme，麦克教官实际上大家已经非常熟悉他了，是我们华府地区可以说是有名的这个那个就是这种财商管理和这种税务方面的专家，他呢是我们这个系列讲座的那个VIP speaker，麦克教官呢也是我们 Capanova 团队的 core team member 之一，所以的话anyway，I just want to let everybody know，就是我们所有的core team member 全都是 volunteer based，nobody take a penny pay，all these classes are provided in like free of charge，所以的话就是特别希望社区里头都能够支持我们这个平台，然后成为 Capanova 的那个付费 member，注册 link 呢已经在我们的微信群里头发出了，所有如果还没有在我们 Capanova 微信群里头的，可以加我哈，就是我的微信名是燕宇宙，然后我可以带你入群。我们所有的活动都是在微信群里头发出，所以的话，希望大家能够成为我们的一员。今天呢，是我们这个月的financial literacy 讲座系列讲座。以往呢，一般都是会推后一下，可是今天那个教官说，为了方便大家，尤其是这个报税季节哈，他希望能够提前，所以我们就安排在4月1号了。今天呢主要是讲关于就是如何用10 ways to use AI tools to optimize your tax return。所以的话，as everybody know，就是 Coach 总是各种各样干货满满希望大家都能够 benefit from his talk。During the talk, if you have any questions, please feel free to post your question in the chat box, and we are going to address your questions at the end of the talk. All right, okay, without any further ado, I'm going to give the stage to Coach Mike.
All right.
Coach, stage is yours.
Thank you, yeah. Thank you, everybody. I see some friends on my text network people, Ariana, Ted, Fred, and Carrie. Make sure you guys comment on things based on your personal experience because I think the most important benefits for tax advisor is you work with the most creative entrepreneurs. You synergize the energy, the ideas. 1+1 higher than 2. That's why I really appreciate all the people you give me some ideas, help me to make this tax planning not only cash rewarding, but also exciting, right? That's my whole point. So today I'm going to show 10 user cases for 2024 tax returns based on my personal experience, and also 10 more cases for 2025 tax planning, right? Again, personal view does not represent any employers, commissioners, and other staff, and I'm not licensed brokerage, professional, or crypto, or annuity, real estate. If you want to do that life insurance, talk with the people. I just talk about the tax. All right. How many tools we're going to talk about? I really want to show the one most people use ChatGPT is a $20 per month professional, and also Perplexity. Perplexity is also a good one. For me, it's free because I get some other bundled package. Cloudy, I think, is also paid, I think. But thank you, Ariana. You recommended probably I call the AI of the AI. Ariana, can you talk about why Abacus is a good deal for all of us?
Okay. Well, I think each of the LLM sites have their own site for $20 for the pro plan, like Perplexity, Claude, ChatGPT, but they also allow for API calls. And this site is essentially an app that sits on top of all of them. And you pay them $10 a month, and you can have access, and it's legit, right? It's access to individual LLMs you can select from a drop-down box. And they give you up to some amount, but the amount is so many tokens that most ordinary users are not going to need. It probably will be rate limiting for people who are trying to do heavy duty images all the time, but for the average person, you have the advantage of picking Claude versus ChatGPT versus the Pro editions, and it's $10 a month. But I think they're doing it because they're a new startup, and you're going to see more and more of these kind of sites, I think, where they're going to be a layer on top of the LLMs.
I'm
So
so grateful to give you this
yeah.
idea. I already immediately subscribe. I love it because they can optimize my search, find out the most data-rich site. So I use that already. I'm going to de-subscribe, unsubscribe the other $20 thing. I use $10. Why pay the other 20, right? Just single arbitrage. Thank you so much, Rihanna. Guys, if you do that, you people make sure you subscribe Abacus. All right. But for me, as a professional, everybody know AI is biased and also had a hallucination, right? Hallucination meaning they provide misleading information, misinform, misknowledge. That's why you have to trust and verify, trust. That's the whole thing. Everybody know that. Sometimes they give you nonsense. But for professionals, I use a BlueJ. Okay, BlueJ is probably the number one tax AI. Every professional careers, you have your legal AI, you have architectural AI. For tax accountants, I use BlueJ. BlueJ is for professionals, for CPAs, and they're not cheap. I belong to National Association of Tax Accountants. That's why I'm able to subscribe. Most people, if you want to do that, it costs you about $2,000 a year. It's quite expensive. For me, it's cheaper because, right? But I almost, for factual items, I don't need to cross-reference, cross-verify. But for the judgmental matters, professional judgment matters, I'm using GPT and BlueJ to compare, to cross-reference. But you guys don't have it. That's why if you are accountant or you're a road agent in this workshop, make sure you subscribe this. BlueJ probably is the biggest thing I want to tell you is AI have a three major things we need to worry about. One is what? Traceability. You need to trace that to the right case, right legal reference, codification, right? Secondly, explainability. If you give you an idea, you have to find a way to explain how this number is calculated, depreciation or whatever it is. And the third thing is accountability, right? So that's why not every AI give you this. That's why I like BlueJ. Not only they give you tax advice, also they refer to specific tax code and the court cases. Very powerful. In case you're audited, you can use that to produce, the reference. You can counter defend yourself. That's why traceability is definitely a good thing for professionals. For the layman, sorry, for lay person, I try to be political correct. You use the typical abacus is good. All right, I have 10 user cases for now. Ask a volunteer to. I'm going to go through a few things. Ted, can you read the 10 cases? We're going to go through based on this, year's tax return. My
Sure.
suggestion. Go ahead. All right, I Let me find them. Fred, can you read this?
Sure. Number one, how to understand my W-2 statement. Number two, brokerage statement shows non-covered securities, which could lead the IRS to treat all gains as taxable. What should I do? Number three, K1. Number four, rental expensing rather than amortizing. How to write safe harbor election letter. Number five, Schedule C, any expenses may raise IRS flag. Number six, Schedule E, any expenses and deductions I may have missed. Number seven, self-employed retirement plan. How much can I contribute from my Schedule C net earnings? Number eight, Tesla, how to fill out EV tax credit. Number nine, how to calculate auto depreciation. And number 10, how to calculate a rental property depreciation.
Yeah, last night we suffered, right? The depreciation is probably the hardest one. Just even professional just pull your hair out.
Yeah, and the bonus depreciation was, that's what got me.
Yeah, even professional get confused all the time. That's why AI really help us to understand step by step. All right, first is W-2. No, most cases, when you receive W-2, so many numbers and code we don't understand. But in order to save tax, we need to understand the W-2, right? The best way when you get the W-2, if you look at this guy, he's a Tesla employee. I fabricate this number, right? And look at his number. He has $600,000 salary on box one. But in most cases, we all understand the big seven, the Tesla, Apple, whatever. You are not getting people. You are not getting all number, but salary. You're getting RSU, right? Restricted stock unit. That's why the stocks give you a lot of value, but the IRS charges you taxes. So I'm going to use the AI tools to understand, walk me through my W-2. Here is my W-2. Walk me through how the box one and RSU are related, okay? So I copy that, you have to paste this into, I think now they can access the paste. I'm going to paste my W-2 in it. Hold on a second, it works. Well, it does not allow me to paste. Okay, I have to use ChatGPT to paste. So they quickly already calculate numbers. They said my this, my that, right? And every number they give you how to calculate it, right? All the Social Security taxes, and this one, and a Medicare tax. Do you see the Medicare tax? Not only you get a 1.55 because your income so high, you get a surcharge, ACA, Affordable Care Act, and also so many people missed this box number 10, which is dependable care. When you have a child under 13, this is free money, okay? People, when you look at it, box 10, when you have this, you have no deductions, withholdings, not withholding, the pre-tax deductions from dependent care. You should do something because you save money like 30%. And all the boxes 12, CDE, this is confusing. And you ask ChatGPT to help you to understand what's all the codes stand for. Do you see that? C stands for group life insurance, D stands for traditional, WHSA, and DD is employer sponsored, meaning what? Employer cover 30,000 of the family Medicare. Okay. I have RSU, and my base salary is 168. Calculate how my RSU tax is withheld. You have to, because RSU probably the very confusing part for people. Use ChatGPT or AI tools help you, right? All right, he already told you, because I'm a Tesla employee, I get stocks. My base is 160, they use stocks to incentivize me. And they said, okay, $500 is your RSU. How's the taxes? Tax is based on either 22% or whatever percentage. So for instance, for me, 22% of my RSU, which is $500,000 here, right? I'm going to withhold tax, government or IRS will withhold before you even sell it. So when you have RSU, you got to talk with professionals, because can you imagine they already tax you 22% before you see anything. And then when you sell the stocks, you will still pay long-term capital gain tax, either 15% or 20% or 23%. Or if you sell too early, you get an ordinary tax, which is 30%. That's why when you have RSU, please do not sell stocks. Donate to your family foundation. You already get that, you donate, you get the money back. So please, we have a lot of stocks, try not to sell this, because you have to pay tax twice. You pay 22% now, and later you pay another 15%. Well, not efficient, all right? So that's why you use RSU method. You can see how numbers calculated 22% and how do you save tax in the future. All right, so this is W2. If you have questions, put them in there. All right, move on to the next cases is when you, I've seen a lot of people buy and sell, got a Schedule D, 1098, 1099, different dividend schedules. Sometimes you get a schedule, they call it uncovered. You see the short-term uncovered securities, Tesla. What does it mean is your brokerage company does not keep your base for when you buy the stock, because they don't know that. Because you might get RSU, whatever it is, they treat it zero. And when you sell it, you get a $24,000 capital gain, whatever it is. Then IRS doesn't know your base. They will tax you for the full amount, which is ridiculous. But if you don't do it, you pay more tax because you don't have a base. Your base is zero. So you need to use ChatGPT or AI to help you. How can I resolve this? So you said, my brokerage's statement shows uncovered securities capital gain. Can you mute, please? How to avoid overpay? Yeah, can you help me remute people? Yeah. All right. You ask them, for instance, when you have uncovered securities, especially for RSUs, is that's a problem, and you need to find a cost basis. Otherwise, you'll be taxed. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me. I'm going to copy this image, and I'm going to ask, help me reconstruct my cost basis on uncovered securities. You ask ChatGPT to do that. You paste your statement in it. I hope the system is smart enough to do that for me. Wow, they're pretty good. Ariana, see that? It's pretty good. You see that? They quickly calculate the date, because you have date. They go to the Yahoo Finance, find out the stock price at that time. They construct the base. Then they can produce. They produce a statement. Then, because you heard that, you are not only not pay tax, you also save taxes. But you have to tell IRS, can you produce a cover letter to IRS to attach my new base? Okay, you have to ask that. Yeah. And GPT just produce an IRS letter. They have an address, name. They even know I live in Fairfax. How do you know this? Oh, scary stuff.
Quite popular.
No, because they remember me. When I show the W2, my W2 is a John Doe Fairfax. Is that? So GPT is so smart. He remembered my first question. He thinks I have the same. I'm the same taxpayer, and they even use my name, my address, whatever, Social Security. All right, IRS explanation of non-covered securities. I produce this, da 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 da, and I just say, create Excel table for me for these securities, and I just attach this table, copy paste table into the Word file, print out, assign, and attach to my tax return. I'm done. Can you imagine if you hire an accountant? At least you charge you $500. Now it pays you cost you nothing. Because you don't know how to deal with the uncovered taxes. Professionals, they know that, but they are not free, right? They call you. Now with the GPT, everything is under your fingerprint. So powerful, guys. I think 90% of accountant will lose job because as these quotes said, remember, Yuan, AI does not take your job. If the people use AI tool,
yeah.
it's a job. So true. You see, they produce tax table, you download, paste, you're done. Scary stuff. All right, so I have this table produced. I create a cover letter. All right, let's move on to the third one. I e-filed this thing I see all the time. Fred, can you explain the situation? It's so frustrating.
Yeah, for some reason, K1s don't have to come in until I think middle of September, but you have to file by April 15th.
Yeah. Even yesterday, I filed some of this tax return, and the lady said, I get a K1. What should I do? We do an amendment. So annoying. But sometimes IRS have different rules. Is if you file the tax return and you found some errors, if you find before April 15th deadline, it's not amendment return. It's called a replacement return. You still need to do something, explain that, but it's just heck of work, right? If past the April 15th replacement, because I will look at the whole table. All right, I'm going to ask my Blue Jay. I e-filed commit. What should I do? What do you guys think? Most people said if the dollar amount is small, right? Oh, just a server error. If the dollar amount is small, maybe I get a safe harbor, right? Most people said only $10. Come on, I don't need to file return, pay another $100 for accounting fee to refile return. Just $10. Let's see. So you have to wait until full process. Wow, they get us pretty smart. What kind of this? Do the reporting box one? Does it report taxes? If you affect the tax liability, yes. So yes, it is income in 1065. This LP return, and I call it, let's say $150. So the change is small, the change is minor, but it should be reported. This is the ChatGPT still suggests to you to file. All right, but I'm going to make a play with it. I'm going to say you are hallucinating.
I'm offended.
See, that's so funny. IRS is so, but IRS, the ChatGPT is so humble. Fair call. Let me clarify. He suddenly kind of try to explain more. So you have to train the system to be smart enough, because sometimes you give the full information. Sometimes you have to challenge him. He said yes. Well, sounds like he's still very adamant. You need to file return even $50 because IRS require all income. Da 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 da. People, I got a question. Can I include this K1 into my next year's return, right? This is very simple. I want to pay tax, but can I do next year? Just don't want to file an amendment. So it's very stubborn. So that's why people do not buy LPs. Take so much headache, especially when you get a refund. You're waiting because you cannot get a refund. You get the $10 waiting for it. It's so annoying, right? So I think this is tell you have to get all the K1s coming, call them, bother them, say you need to be on time. My accountant waiting for that. So that's what I'm saying is K1 is give you a different headache, but you need to be careful. All right. Let's move on to the next topic. Rental repairs, safe harbor. People, there are so many. I'm going to use the tax software to do that. So many tax code, we don't know the rules. Carl, are you here, Carl?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, can you explain the safe harbor return, safe harbor repairs? What's this about?
So we use that to save money. So like for example, fans. So we can do a safe harbor, if I remember correct, safe harbor if the fence is less than 2% of the purchase price of the property. So we can then write it off that very year versus depreciation. If it's above 2% of the selling price, then we have to depreciate over 27.5 years.
Yeah, so when you have rentals, there are three kinds of expensing strategies for the current year instead of depreciate for 27 years. One is what? The minimum safe harbor, section 1.268, whatever it is. You can expense up to $2,500 per item or per invoice. The other one is when you have a financial statement, when somebody compile a financial statement with an auditor, accounting firm, accountant, you can deduct twice, $5,000. But most people, we're individuals, we don't have financial statement until you're super rich. And the third one is this 2% safe harbor, right? You see that? The 2% safe harbor is section 1.63, allow qualified to this, and you can, when your house base is, let's say, $300,000, and 2% is $6,000. So you can expense the current year, your repairs, your hardwood floor, whatever it is. You don't need to depreciate for 27. You can deduct same year. But you need to create a letter, create IRS election letter for me. I hope they do for me. That's why guys, ChatGPT or AI's tools are important, but we need to know the knowledge. You have enough knowledge to know this kind of things to take advantage of it, right? If you very limited in the tax code or tax strategies, AI tools cannot help you because they do not give you this, or unless you want to train that. All right. See, they give you this safe harbor letter, tell you this, tell you that, and then you can do that. I think that's why very, very powerful. You copy this, print out, put your schedule in, and print out. Okay, that's it. Maybe sometimes I have a rental property and incurred, let's say, give me some ideas to expense in current year rather than depreciation, right? You might be asking, train the system to tell you some interesting ideas. All right, he's gonna tell you. All right, for this one, okay, first of all, the minimum safe harbor, I told you that, you can do that, right? So you can expense that. Routine safe harbor, recurring, that's one, expect every 10 years can be expensed. Oh, interesting, I don't know this with HVAC. Wow, something new. And for this one is 2% safe harbor. So can you imagine if you ask your accountant, maybe I would say half of the chances you don't get these three answers because some accountants only know certain things and they can know all the things. That's why with AI, with accounting, with the professionals' help, you really can optimize everything because we all have knowledge limitations. We are comfortable with something we do, but sometimes your accountant say, oh, you cannot do, you have to depreciate 27 years. Then you have, what about this? You go to ChatGPT, sorry. Oh, sorry, because nobody knows everything, right? I'm very humble because, sorry, I try to be not humble because sometimes I'm very adamant. I think I cannot do it, but you search, oh, you can do it. So this is very interesting. I will say it can do so many things, it give you so many different ideas. So when you have rentals, use GPT, give you some ideas, right? Cool. I hope you guys learn a few. Number 5 is Schedule C. This is what I copied from Donald Trump, his tax return. I know during his court cases, Trump has a restaurant. Trump's restaurant is making $4 million revenue, top of the house, steak, right? And he's getting all the expenses. Do you see that? Assuming you are producing a Schedule C like this and different expenses, and I'm going to ask GPT to give me some feedback. Okay, I have my Schedule C.
要
What?
查证，它这
Please, Schedule C, can you list a few possible IRS red flag. Because when you finish return, do not file, do some quality check, sanity check. What do? You just take out the Social Security, take out the personal information, and ask GPT to do a debugging for you. Very high receipt. Okay, fine. That's restaurant. Large wages. This restaurant, right? Pay a lot of people. That's fine. Other expenses, kitchen, repairs. Okay. Depreciation sounds like good. Travel. Okay, travel not huge. So confirm it's related to expenses. Bonus trip, non-profit margin, and he said for this one, 31% profit margin is very low. So sometimes you don't know, because this is based on the ChatGPT number. They think this is the profit margin is low. Then you can ask them. I have a restaurant business. Is 3.1 profit too low? You are hallucinating. Sorry, I'm just making fun. Hallucinating.
Hey, Mike, it was willing to produce an audit-proof summary. That looked very interesting. You should ask it for that.
I know, right? That's so cool. All right, DC for restaurant, typical full service 3.6. I'm 3.1, fine. I don't have any problem. I feel good. If your profit margin too low, you might get issues. I think this is good. This is good. This is powerful, because you don't need to hire special accountant to do the market research to give you everything. Right? I know to put your zip code for Fairfax, for this state, for restaurant, because it can be localized. Right. All right. Maybe next time when you receive IRS audit letters, ask ChatGPT to help you. This is my tax return. This is my audit letter. Can you help me defend myself? Maybe ChatGPT can produce something for you without hiring a lawyer. Whew, amazing. All right. If we move on to Biden. Biden has a rental property. That's from his tax return. And I'm going to ask the GPT to give me some debug. I have a rental, Schedule E. Can you tell me possible deductions I may miss? I'm sure Biden is not accountant. He missed a lot of deductions. We all know. He's definitely not tax savvy. All right, they are producing. But before that, I'm going to ask ask some friends. Anybody want to comment on this? Oh, we're one of the people. Can anybody give me feedback? Anything Biden's return Schedule E has a problem? GPT can give you 10 answers, but I want you to think.
He has no insurance claimed.
Yeah, he has no insurance. Come on, he's a house. What about number 18, line 18? No depreciation. Are you kidding me? His accountant signed this thing off, posted online in the White House website. The whole world see how bad the accountant is. The accountant is incompetent.
He's
Maybe
accountant,
it's
my dear.
purchased
But
by
Mike-
full cash.
Yeah, maybe it's fully depreciated.
Biden? And the congressman?
What if it's fully depreciated?
I don't think the house, because when they see tax return, he still have mortgage on that. He still pay mortgage interest. We see the house gonna be still not paid off yet. So I'm not appreciate.
So he owned it less than 30 years.
Yeah, I don't think his house is. Anyway, I'm going to ask GPT to give me some ideas. Look at this. You have claimed this. You haven't claimed anything in any categories. Auto, right? Missing autos, making maintenance, insurance, right? Legal, accounting fee missed, management fee missed, repairs, depreciation. This is a big one. Even ChatGPT said it's a big one. That's so funny. So when you finish your any return, ask GPT to audit it for you. Do some sanity check before you e-file, because your accountant's so busy. He just want to get your thing done, e-file, move on to the next client, because everybody waiting for April 15. People have no time to think. They just mechanically punch numbers and run through. No time to explain, no time to walk through patiently. I try to be patient, guys. Forgive me. I lost patience because I have so many people. But use GPT help you, and you help me. All right. Now this another one is the self-employed small business to the 401k solo K. This one is interesting. Ted, can I ask you, when you have this situation, can you read this case?
Self-employment retirement plan. My single member LLC is profitable. I hired my wife as a W-2 employee. How much can I contribute to my solo 401k with matching employee benefits?
So what do? You attach this to ChatGPT, ask them to give you audit. It costs you $500 to a consult, right? Now with that, you can get everything. But again, you may not get the right answer because it'll be wrong. Then you bring this result, bring to accountant. You say, accountant, this is what GPT said. Give me, what do you think? Are they legit or not? Okay. All right, I'm going to highlight. This is cool because they are making $55,000 business. I'm going to copy this. Yuan, can I copy CAPA Nova in it? Make sure GPT get your logo.
Sure.
Okay, I have, oops, sorry. I have a profitable small business. Tell me my solo K plan for me and the wife. Okay. So clean. They are so clean. How many accountants couldn't find this? GPT already identified all the key matters already. Okay. Employee, you can do 23 up to this, and you can contribute 20%. So he already calculate every single step. Every single step. And pretty much for this one, you can contribute $10,000 as your Schedule C because you are matching your wife's, matching 33. Do that for your wife. Okay, sorry. The wife is 25% of your 25% of your salary, which is this one calculation. Okay, and total this. You this, you that. That's a problem because you only make $55,000, right? I said. You are hallucinating. My LLC only have 50K profit. How can I afford 66? You challenge him. Challenge it. Oops, sorry. This should be go on strike. Yeah. I did refuse to work with me. Anyway, my question is, yes, we all understand GPT AIs are hallucinating, but people, let me ask you, Alan or Cindy, let me ask you, when you call credit card companies, when you call the bank representative, how many times they give you wrong answers, or travel agent or flight American Airlines, you get it back? My point is, human being in customer service are also hallucinating. Am I right?
Mhm.
So don't blame machine. Machine try to help you. Sometimes people just have a bias. I don't trust them because they are machine. They are based on the garbage data. But how many? They said, oh, this machine comes from black box. But in the real life, I'm accountant. I call Drake Software customer service for some debugging issues. Half of the time, I get a very lousy customer service rep. They couldn't even understand my question. I have explained, I was lost. Now I use GPT to explain for me. I save a lot of headaches because even professionals, even the customer service in different company, bank, credit card companies, still give you a bad answer, right? You have to call multiple people, try to talk with the managers because you don't trust this guy because he's a hallucinating. And people said this model come from black box, but hallucinating is everywhere, not only machine, human being. How many people get divorced? Do you think you divorced? Maybe your husband or wife, spouse is also hallucinating, right? Because give you wrong information, he cheat on you because there's all people. So don't blame machine, don't blame AI. AI try to help you. Okay? Give a little compassion, right? Sorry, I digress. I hope you guys appreciate what I said. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, move on to next one is Tesla. It's another interesting thing. I am going to ask Tesla to do all my depreciations. That's a big one. Depreciation for auto is a big deal, right? So I'm going to ask, hey, wake up. Hello. 对我发脾气了。All right, sorry, I'm mad at you. Okay, I have a Tesla, and I want to deduct 179 bonus and others, and I have a small business profit at 43. Don't worry. Thank you so much. All right, Tesla, blah, blah, blah. Guys, for 179 depreciation is really based on profitability. If you're losing money, cannot do that, okay? Allowed but limited by profit, okay. Bonus, 1%. Fred, do you agree this 1%?
No, I believe for 2024, that should be 60%.
So they are wrong, right? So you have to challenge him because this is garbage. You have to tell them, the calculator, blah, blah, blah. Something like I can get a full deductible. I said, I think the answer is wrong. You are hallucinating. Bonus is 60%. And the Tesla under 6,000 pounds, capped at $20,000. Only accounting know this note because how people know this? You have to verify this number totally wrong. That's why you have to challenge it, or challenge her, whatever it is called, enunciation. So suddenly they're good. Still very humble. Let's get it cleaned up, fully accurate, 60%. This is my problem, Fred. Yesterday we told them 60%. Why I don't remember this time still making the same mistake? Do you see that? AGI. It doesn't remember my prior exercise. Yesterday I told him, I told it is 60%. This time today, 24 hours, he forgot everything.
You know, Mike, I had that problem with my chat GPT, and you actually have to log in the exact same way for it to work on several machines. So if you went on like just as a guest when you were doing it, and then you logged on with your own personal one, the next time it won't remember.
Okay.
So you have to make sure you log in exactly the same way so that it syncs.
Gotcha. Well, Ted, can you explain how do you use GPT to help your work? Yeah.
How do I use Chat GPT in my work?
Your business, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, both in my work as a retina specialist and as soap making, it's excellent. You know, I can say, like I made my first batch of soap on Friday, and I can just say, hey, I think the bar is too soft. Can we make a harder bar? Can you change up the recipe? And it will say, sure, we'll use more coconut oil, less olive oil, all that kind of stuff. When you make your pigments. You can say, hey, what do you want me to dissolve this in? And it will say, well, this pigment is best in oil. This pigment, is best dissolved in water. And then stuff like search engine optimization. You can say, hey, look, I want to, for my website, what should I do to optimize my search profile? It can do all of that for you. I think you used to have to get a consultant to get search engine optimization. And when I do my retina practice, I play with it just like you with your accounting. I'll say, hey, give me the top 3 diagnoses for these findings, and it will go give me 3 diagnoses. Then I'll say, oh yeah, but the patient's 19 years old, and it's like, Ted, you got me. Okay, if it's 19-year-old. It does. It says, well, then the differential diagnosis is this, this, and this. It's like, okay, I believe you. So it's really, really helpful. Any drug, someone comes and says, my doctor started me on this. Is there any problem with my eyes? I just ask it, hey, and I do it right in front of the patient. It's like, let's ask ChatGPT, is this harmful to your eyes? And anything, even like the dumbest things that they'd never believe a doctor for, like, is watching TV bad for your eyes? If I do ChatGPT, it will listen to just like, let's ask ChatGPT. It's like, see, I told you. It will believe GPT more before it will believe me.
Because they think you are hallucinating.
Yeah, exactly. But I heard these vitamins were good for your eyes. It's like, okay, let's ask. So I told you it wasn't any good. You're wasting your money.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Can you imagine these guys visiting a professional, pay $100 visitation fee? Sometimes you get the same answer. So anyway, we just want real human touch. I got it. All right, the last one in my user case is rental property. We all understand depreciation is hard. Especially hard when you when you closing the first house. Carl, do you remember this? When you purchase the house, can you explain how the cost base is quite difficult? Carl, can you explain?
Yeah, sure. So the purchase price, and then you need to figure it out what is the improvement, right? So a land is not an improvement, so you cannot depreciate that land. So the general rule that we have is 20% take off. So 80% is depreciable, and I hope the 20% is a good number. It should be. That's fairly standard, I believe, somewhere around there.
Yeah, the hardest part is closing hard one, right? Because there's so many line of expenses. Some it can expense same year, some you have to amortize based on loan schedule, some based on the amortization depreciation schedule. Use GPT help you, right? Help me break down to 3 buckets. One is I can deduct this year rental expense, amortize with 27.7 years, and third one is what? Amortize with a loan schedule 30 years, because there you have 3 different possibilities.
Yeah, the closing cost is complicated.
Yeah, closing cost is so many lines. I just asked GPT to help me. Some 80% they're right. That's why sometimes you can use multiple tools to verify. But in most cases they are pretty good. Yeah. But at least if you hire professionals, also how many accountants like you myself, I don't understand every line item because some are so confusing, right? You have 10 different houses, you have 10 different schedules. Wow, we already calculated for me so quick. How come? What? That's fast. I do mess with you. Oh, they already. No, hold on. Let's see. Okay, they give you all this. They give you all the things line by line. So fast. If you hire somebody, at least it costs you 1 hour work, $250. Now only 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Amazing, amazing. All right, I'm done with the real cases. I'm not going to move on to the tax planning. I need So here I'm going to do quick 10 minutes how I can do planning. First is the W4 calibrations. Ted, can you share your experience how you use W4 to help you save tax? Ted?
Yeah, I obviously I don't want to get too much of a refund every year because I'm just giving the government a tax interest-free loan. So I can go to my ADP app and I can adjust my withholdings and I can just add more if my withholdings is too much and they'll decrease it. And in fact, that you can also check a box that says I don't owe any withholding. I'm not subject to any withholdings if you pay the same amount and you get a refund every year. Like you can say, I'm expecting a refund, and they'll not withhold anything from your paycheck.
So that's why when you receive a lot of refund this year, you need to recalibrate W4 because you don't want to give interest-free loan to the government. Why you do that, right? The government doesn't even give you a thank you note. So just everything within $2,000-3,000 range, that's the ultimate. I think most cases my client try to keep that range because we need to do that. You don't owe much, you don't pay much. So you tell GPT, here's my situation. We have my spouse is real professional, and we have rental losses offset in my W2, and you do that, and you can save tax this much, and GPT exactly tell you what to do in W4. You go to your HR portal, change your W4 withholdings, and put different things, and you can do that. I think that's one way to. When you have a big refund because you overhold yourself, you just do that. Okay, use that to help you. All right. How to evaluate my brokerage account? This is the thing I've seen many times. Last year, stock market is up 25%, but how many people buy and sell, buy and sell? At the end of the day, you pay all the fees and sleepless nights and energy. You don't get much. For this client, look at that. His portfolio from the brokerage account is producing 12% return, and in the market is 26%. Definitely is disservice because your portfolio, how I cannot even beat the market. You still charge me, and they give you all these different stocks. So I'm going to use GPT to help me to assess, evaluate their portfolios. Okay, I'm going to do this. Ask GPT. He said for all these mutual funds. You can do that based on your schedule. You can copy that, ask GPT to do for you. Use a table to compare this mutual fund against SP 500, 10-year return, 15-year returns, and expense ratio, right? Doesn't allow me to do it. Let me copy. Yeah, but I needed this 4 funds. I think he doesn't understand me. think they are. Wow, they give you all the Python code. Anybody know Python? I don't. Even today, we talk about how many people graduate from computer scientists. In most cases, you couldn't find a job because 99% people can code themselves like this. Yeah, it's not as efficient, but as you can see, this fund's return is 10-year return 2%. This fund is 10-year return is 13%, and the expense ratio is 30 basis points. When S&P 500 10-year return is about 13, and the expense ratio is almost 0. So what you do is what you just bring this. I don't know, give me this answer. So what you do is you bring your statement, you do the ChatGPT check, ask the comparison, bring to your financial advisor. You said, hey, John, I pay you 1% AUM fee. Why you give me this crap? Your performance is less than half of the market. Why I hire you? Right? You challenge him. When people try to blah, 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 you say, I don't want anything. I just want a market rate. The market gave you 26% last year, 11% for the 10 years, 15%, for the, why didn't hire you, right? You just use the simple math, okay? One more thing I want to do is, this is my website, because I ask all my tax clients to write an annual report, okay? Because this is the way formalize your documentation, also incentivize you to do a better job, and use GPT, create an annual report for Smart 1040 LLC. You can ask GPT to do that for you. Okay. And you do some adding, changing, add a few pictures, a few client testimonies, and you just put into you cover all the things, service. Then this will become your good marketing letter or even annual report. Every year you do that, and you hire a child to help you audit and edit, and you can use that for your family board advisor meeting. Every year I encourage you, small business owner, to go to board advisor meeting, go to a nice restaurant, or go to the beach condo to talk a few days, talk about business, talk about pricing, talk about product offering, and talk about this annual report. Okay, I think this is good to use GPT to do that. Last one is I want to give you a little. Next April 22nd, I'm going to run 10 books I recommend for tax planning or the wealth planning. I'm going to recommend. I believe these 10 books are good books. Same thing. In order to send an email, sometimes I send an email. I come from here. Create a marketing email based on this flyer. They give you the date, the topic, who's the speaker, and a perfect audience. That's pretty cool, right? I like it. And put the, sorry, I use BC, not you, if you're not jealous. And I even said it can create Mandarin. Okay, make it funnier. Okay, I want to say make it a bit. I want to change a little bit of the connotation in it. We'll see. Want people to sleep. We promise. So good. We're gonna with where best ideas. Okay. So why this is important? Remember the Augusta rule, section 288, meaning you can rent your house 14 days up to per year, right? To your small business, you can do client meeting, product offering, and you can deduct the rental, the food, the drink, the children. You can deduct everything. Same thing. You use this to create a flyer, right? Send to your client, and you use that to document in case you are audited. This is your difference because I have a flyer, I have a date, my company offer this event, and we get a good turnout. I sell more business, and this is pretty good. Okay, I think 10. I made it. Yeah, I made it.
might have a question. For example, like I need to do Roth conversion, taking into consideration also on the equity portfolio. So is this a good tool to use it to do this? And is there any specific AI tool that is better at it than others?
Yeah, I think you need to use this called smart assets. They have a tax software, but it's plain vanilla, not fancy, right? And you can use that to put in some Roth conversion, put in your Social Security numbers. You can know how much tax you pay. I think it gives you a ballpark. I don't know if you ask ChatGPT what stock portfolio. I think you probably run into a financial advisor thing, right? GPT doesn't have a license. In case you have losses, how do you sue? You sue whom? You sue Elon Musk, or you sue whoever owned the GPT, right? I don't know. Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know what issues.
Hey, Mike, I wanted to add a couple of things at the end.
Go
This is
ahead.
Robin.
Yes. I'm done.
On the Abacus thing, I didn't want to interrupt. When you do a search, you can actually select from the drop down which LLM to route to. So you could actually, in Abacus, on the top it says route LLM. On the top, you can actually select send it. No, on the middle section top, above the text when you're typing on top, route LLM. You see that?
Oh, okay. Route.
Middle of the screen, not to the left, middle of the screen, Mike.
Middle screen. Okay. Middle.
All the way to the top.
Okay.
You see route LLM, the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you select it, you can actually force an LLM. So you can actually send it to GPT or Claude or anything. So that's one way of telling it where to send it to, because what their software does is automatically decide based on your query.
They have
But you can
18
actually-
models. Wow, they have 18 AI models. Oh my lord! You only pay $10? What?
So that's one tip for this one I've noticed, because sometimes it's sending it to Claude and it's coming up with a different thing. The
Wow,
other
they have
question,
even DeepSeek. They have a DeepSeek. Gemini. Well, if people have this, how can these guys make money? Because you only pay $10, you get everything. Oh my lord.
yeah, but because they still make money because they're still making API calls and they're getting paid. They're betting on the fact that you won't be a very heavy duty user. That's probably the the other thing I wanted to mention is you originally showed perplexity.ai, and someone asked in the chat room that how do you know whether it's hallucinating or not? In Perplexity, if you do those same queries, it comes up with the annotation. So you can click on, if you're in doubt, you can
Okay.
click on it and go to the source of why it's saying that. So some people like
okay.
that
Search.
because in
Yeah.
ChatGPT, it doesn't give you the source of how it's arriving at it.
Yeah. This is a big question I have. Can I deduct my travel expenses to US to take care of my rental? This question I got from my class, which is very interesting. For instance, I'm a US citizen living in China. Can I deduct my travel expenses from China to US to take care of my rental? I think if you ask your accountant, in most cases, no, you can't, because this is a personal pleasure, whatever it is. But if you ask ChatGPT, or this is professional software, right? You ask them. This question is so interesting. Initially, I think no, you can't. Kind of too. How IRS allow you to travel internationally to take care of your bathroom? Let's read. We don't know. Same thing in India, Ariana. Sorry. So when you come back, you can deduct. Carl, you live in, where do you live? Thailand, right?
Yeah, Bangkok
Yeah, if you
right now.
you look at this, this is from professional software, right? Yes, as a citizen, you can deduct. It's allowable up to certain things. You follow this, follow that, and at conclusion you can deduct. And also they give you different code, different case. Zhang Xuefeng, they even give you tax court cases. So funny. You can read that and understand how applicable to you. That's why for professionals, you need a traceability. This is my traceability. In case you are not sure, you can look at the tax code, you can look at publications, you can take a look. Sorry, anybody? Yeah. It's amazing. So I already give you spot on advice. Carl, you can travel back, visit me, you can deduct yourself.
Yeah, we intend to. Yeah.
All right, any questions, guys? That was funny. I think GPT totally changed the way we do business. I'm sure you're a lawyer, doctor, I don't know what profession. You subscribe your professional GPT AI tool. That's why this is like a sports enhancement drug, Fred. Am I right? You're in the field.
Agree.
Yes,
Great.
absolutely.
Yeah, you are professional, and also you add on this additional enhancers, enablers. You are 10 times more efficient than others. So probably if you fire anybody, you are still the last one standing because you produce more value. One day, because AI, Elon let go so many IRS people, right? 40,000 employees forced out. They are short-handed, but you never know. Maybe they use AI, IRS AI, the government AI. They use AI to audit your AI. So the future tax return is everything's automated. You, as a taxpayer, and IRS auditors are behind the screen because they cannot talk. They don't understand. Only AI each other exchange ideas. We are totally useless. Sorry. I just give you this wake up call because this is coming. It already enhanced my work, help you do more accurate, get more deductions legally, legitimately. You can sleep well. And in the meantime, you should do that for your profession. I don't know what the profession is. I think it's really, we need to be a change adapter, right? Or adaptive changer, because if you are not changing ourselves, somebody else will change us. All right, I think
要不然你看一下那个 chat box 里头有几个 question。
yeah, I'm getting philosophical, sorry. All right, Abacus, thank you. I think AI and tax professional make an individual taxpayer as powerful as large. Yes, I agree. Yeah, sometimes amazing. What if the client didn't provide information to accountant? Then you fire the client. If you do not have full-time already maxed out 401k, can you even have a small business? Yeah, do not max out 401k contribution. You only got to max and out. Okay. For the people who do that, your job 401k sucks. Try not max out. Try to use solo K. As a non-accountant, I don't have a trained. Yeah, that's a problem. That's why you still need an accountant. Give you trained ideas, get you smarter and smarter. You may not meet your accountant every single minor questions. You can resolve 80% questions. For the 20 harder ones, bring to accountant, and also try to verify, talk. Yes, that's a problem. Is I know for Fred, you are a professional real estate. So for Carl, you guys can see the house has a problem or has structural issues. You guys can see that. I can't. I'm an accountant. I know nothing. But when you know this, use AI help you to be smarter because God give you talent. Use it. One of the AI side, Mike showed Perplexity has annotations. Thank you so much, Ayana. Yeah, I like it. I use Perplexity. Yeah. How to join WeChat CAPA? 树文, can you, Olga? Can you? Olga, okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for those who wants to join Capanova WeChat group, I just put my WeChat ID in the chat box. 我的微信名是燕宇宙。我估计很多人就是今天看到我发的 flyer. If you can just add me, I will bring you to the group. I just want to let everybody know, as I introduced, at the beginning, our Capanova group is perhaps one of the most active community group in the local area. 我们今年的这个活动也是特别多，几乎每天都有，都有不同的讲座，然后very likely around this summer, we're going to push out another series specifically focus on AI and its usage. 所以 for those who are interested in this topic and want to provide a talk, contact me and I will, put you on the schedule. 好吧，那我们今天晚上就先到这里。谢谢 Coach. As always, you are the best. Thank you everyone for your participation. Good
All right.
night.
God bless. Thank you.
谢谢你。
Bye guys. 谢谢. Bye.
谢谢 ，Thank you，晚安。
Thank you, Mike.